Hi everybody, welcome to EZLynx Live. I'm your host Ryan Beukema. On today's show, today we're going to be talking about some of the really cool enhancements that we had come out here in Q4. So let's go ahead and jump in. One of the things that we released in Q4 is an enhancement in our commercial lines offerings inside of Submission Center. We've added Tarmika into Submission Center, and this now allows you to actually get commercial rates. So you can fill out some of the information in Submission Center, bridge it right over to Tarmika, it'll pre-fill, and then you can actually run quotes. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Now to access Tarmika, the first thing that we want to do before we go in and show how it's integrated into Submission Center, you've got to get the integration set up inside of Connect. So we all know where the Connect Marketplace is. You're going to go ahead and click on that integration. Now there's a couple of things. You do have to actually have an account with Tarmika in order for this to work. If you don't, that's fine. You can go ahead and click Enroll with Tarmika. This will direct you to their site. You'll fill out some information, and then one of the reps will actually reach out to you guys and get you all set up in the system. Really, really simple, really easy. The other thing that we want to kind of point out here is if you're already an existing customer, you already have a login with Tarmika, that's fine. The one thing we do ask you to do right now is make sure that you enable your SSO. And in order to do that, you do have to email them and let them know that you want to. So if you click this link right here, this will actually open up kind of a pre-filled email template already for you. It's already letting Tarmika know. You just need to fill in your agency details, and you just let them know right there that you want to enable SSO, right? This is simply for time saving, right? So as you're bridging out of EZLynx and going into Tarmika, the SSO helps for you not to have to sign in again to Tarmika. You can just bridge right over, go right into the quoting process. If you don't want to do this, that's fine. You just have to enter your credentials in Tarmika every time you bridge over. So might be worth saving some time. Go ahead and select that, and then you're ready to go. So one thing that we do want to do, so let's go ahead, we'll start here. This is one of our customers. If we go over to the applications, we can see that we already have an application for general liability kind of set up. We have filled out some of the application. So if we go ahead and go into our submissions, what we've done right here, everybody's familiar with this. This is the general submission workflow in Submission Center. So we've given a title to the submission. We've set kind of our effective and expiration dates, the quote date. We've set our NICS code with the gift shop. We've even given a note to what it is. If we go ahead and continue on in, the one thing that we want to do here is let's go ahead and select the line of business that we want to target. Now we have already the application is associated right there. So any of that information that's there, we're gonna try to pre-fill as much as we can in the Tarmika site for you, so you don't have to do that. And a really cool thing is, the minute you select a line of business that's eligible for quoting inside of Tarmika, we're gonna go ahead and pop up this cool little window that says, go get quotes. So if you click this option right here, what this is going to do is it's going to go ahead and let you know you're being redirected to a site outside of EZLynx, which is Tarmika, also part of Applied. So if we go ahead and click redirect, we're going to be actually bridged over into Tarmika, their actual portal, and we're going to see that a lot of the information that we already had is already pre-filled. The company name, the business entity, right? We have the contact information that we had, the phone number, the email address, the address, all that's already there. If we continue on to the process, we can go into some of the business information. So there are some fields that Tarmika is going to ask you to go ahead and select on your own. So we'll have to select that it's a gift shop. We'll have to add in some of the information like the number of employees and payroll. But we see from the application, the years the business started is there. The policy effective date, already there, right? So you'll want to go ahead and select some of these other options in order to be able to go in and complete some of the submission process. So let's say for the sake of argument, we've gone in and we've done a submission. For the sake of time for this quick little demo, we'll go ahead and say that happened. Now, as Tarmika is gathering the information and providing us with quotes, you don't necessarily have to stay on the Tarmika site. You can come back into Submission Center and continue to work. Because remember, we were just at the part where it was add the line of business. There's still maybe additional carriers that we want to submit with, maybe that aren't in Tarmika. Maybe we want to do some easy submit, with Liberty Mutual. Fine, we can go ahead and do that, and we can fill out the rest of that application and keep going. But whenever Tarmika is done and they have a quote ready for us, we're going to give you a quick little notification. Maybe you're even in another part of the system and you're making a note on somebody's account who called in. That's fine. This pop-up notification will appear right here. You click the link in it to view the submission. It's going to direct you right to that submission page. You can see that we got the quote back from Tarmika, which is right here. The premium that Tarmika is quoting us is for $746. Right there you have that nice little option that says quote link, when you click this, what that's doing is it's bridging you right over to Acuity. So a lot like the personal lines rater, right? I find a carrier I like, I'm just going to bridge over to the carrier site. I'm going to complete out the rest of any questions that they may require, and I'm going to go into the binding process if we're ready to go. So we now have an integrated rating experience inside of EZLynx with Tarmika, which we're really excited to bring this quarter. AppliedPay, that was one of our big unveilings at AppliedNet 2022. And with this release, one of the things that we've done is we've actually integrated applied payments into EZLynx accounting. So if one of your customers is making a payment on an invoice, instead of you having to go into the system in accounting and create a receipt, the system's going to do that for you. It's going to automatically generate the receipt and do all of the balancing postings into accounting, so you don't have to go back in after the fact and do that. The other thing that we've added is the ability to do simplified agent pay. So what does that mean? That means that whenever a customer comes into the building, in the past with AppliedPay, you'd actually have to get into their Client Center account and actually take the payment there. You don't need to do that anymore. Now you can actually take the payment right there in the AMS, right in the customer's account. So let's take a look and see how all this works. So to kind of highlight things, we're going to use this account right here. It happens to be named after me. One of the things I do want to make note of here real quick for everybody is that you still have the ability to, if a customer wants to make a payment, they can of course make a payment inside of Client Center, and this will also generate a receipt inside of accounting when it's associated to the invoice inside of Client Center. That's there today. Generating the receipt is an addition that this release had. But one of the things I want to highlight here, and we can kind of kill two birds with one stone, is the ability to, one, generate the receipt and have it be applied to your open AR balance. And two, let's do simplified agent pay. So let's say, for an example, one of your insureds comes into the office and they want to actually make a payment right then and there with you. Well, prior to our recent release, you had to go back and you actually had to log into Client Center and take the payment there, right? And that could be, cumbersome at times. So one of the things that we've added is this great thing, take payment now. So whenever you access this, that's going to actually go in and it's going to actually allow you to pick one-time payment policies just like in Client Center. You can also do invoices, so you can select the outstanding invoice that they have that they need to make a payment on. You can go to collect payment. This is going to actually bring you into the AppliedPay workflow. So as you can see here, my first name, last name from the account, the email address, everything's there. All they need to do now is come and enter in my fictitious test credit card information, put in our expiration date real quick here, and then put in our CSV number, and then make the payment. So this is just like how it works today inside of AppliedPay inside Client Center. Notice it takes you to the payment confirmation page. Everything there is good. Now, if we come back over here to our invoice tab, we'll notice that we actually have a receipt that we generated. Here we go. We've created a couple today, but there's the invoice. Here's our receipt. If we come down here and we look at the actual transaction log, we can see that everything balanced out for us. And it also right here, here's the confirmation number and the actual invoice that this receipt was associated to. One thing I do want to notice, if you go back over to the account overview page, if we pull down that AR balance, look at that. Originally, it actually had that $400, $452.75 invoice that was outstanding as your AR balance. But since everything's been paid for, it's all been reconciled, your AR balance is zero. So we're really happy to bring these cool 2 new features to you with this release. An addition that we've added here in Q4 is our integration with Splice inside of EZLynx Connect. So what is Splice? Splice allows you to automate some of the communications with your customers, thus saving you time and money not having to do those tasks. One of the things that we've added with the Splice integration is some new actions inside of Automation Center to help support this actual integration. So let's pull up Automation Center and take a look. So to take advantage of Splice and the automation around Splice that we have, the first thing is obviously go down into Connect. Let's go into the Marketplace, and let's make sure we have that integration turned on. If you don't have a Splice account set up, if you're not configured with them, that's completely fine. Don't worry about it. You can go ahead and click the link right here. That'll take you over to the Splice site where you get registered, you get everything set up, and then you're good to go, right? So this handles a lot of, some of the automated messaging that you can do. So one question somebody might have is, I already have text messaging in the EZLynx. Why would I leverage Splice for my texting, email, or call? Why would I do that? Simple answer. Splice provides a lot of customization around being able to build customized templates. So for example, if you send a text message, an automated text message in EZLynx, it's going to have basic information in it, but it's not going to have any personalized tags inserted in. It's not going to have maybe any personalized policy detail information really inserted in. You can do that with Splice, right? You can build automated templates around sending a text or an email and pull information out of EZLynx in order to populate those personalized, those different tags that you put into your template. So for example, maybe you want to have policy information sent out, right? If a payment is required, you can build a template around that, make it a manual workflow, fire it off whenever they need to make a payment, and then they'll just get the email from Splice with your logo, the policy number, and what they need to do, right? So that's one of the reasons you would use Splice. Yes, we do have email and texting as part of the EZLynx solution in our communication center. But if you want to go and utilize this cool new third-party system to be able to do a little bit more automation, a little bit more automation of it, a little bit more customization, that's where Splice would come in. That's why you would leverage this vendor. So if you come over to Automation Center, like I had mentioned, there are a couple of triggers that this now works for. And a lot of those triggers, kind of if you go down here, those things are like new customer, additional policy, policy renewal, birthday, applicant created claims, policy reinstatement, applicant added to the renewal list, right? Or maybe policy added to the expiration list. Those are going to be able to be utilized by Splice, as well as the Sales Center ones. So interview, pricing, presentation, decision, fulfillment, all of those can be leveraged, and you can utilize Splice automation around them. So if we go into management system, I always like the new customer. So maybe every single time a new customer is added to the system, what do I want it to do? Maybe I want it to send out one of the templated text messages I have set up with Splice with some personalized information in it. You can do that. Notice there are two sections here. We have a section up top that says EZLynx Connect integrations. And these are going to be the automated, external automated actions that you can do. And then, of course, we do have our core actions, right? So if you're wanting to leverage email campaigns inside of EZLynx to do something, you'd probably want to select this one right here. But if you're wanting to leverage one of your more customized templates with Splice, or even a customized text message template, you utilize the Splice integration. Now, a big question that some people might have is, hey, I've logged into EZLynx. I don't see this section up here. Where is it? Well, you probably want to go back into the Connect Marketplace, turn on the integration. Once that integration is turned on and we verified that it's enabled for your org, you will see these options, okay? So, like I had mentioned, we do have our Connect platform, and we will pull data out of the EZLynx system and pass it over to your Splice integration so you can build out your customized templates for text, emails, and however you want to handle your phone calls. Big question, though, is what happens when one of these gets fired off? Like, where's the record, right? What happens? So let's go to a customer account. Yeah, let's go to Jason there. And we'll go ahead and leave the workflow. Go over to the activity. So we can see right here that a couple things have happened. What we will notate in the system log for you is we will let you know that the applicant has been contacted via email from Splice, right? And that happened based off of an automated event inside of Automation Center. Same thing for call, same thing for text message. We will record those things here. Now, what the email and the text message actually is, you would have to go into Splice to be able to see that. We don't have a record of that in the system. I can show you real quick for one of the emails that we sent. Here we go. That's what it's going to look like. It'll actually have, from the template that you built with Splice, it'll have your logo. It'll have the policy number that they pulled out of our system to populate right there, and any other pertinent information. Maybe you want to have the customer's name or something like that. You can build that into your template, and then that all actually goes out. So really cool feature to be able to leverage a third-party system to handle some of your automated communication, as well as utilizing Automation Center to send information out based on different triggers in our system. Sales has always been the lifeblood of an agency. Having sales, having the ability to actually make contacts. And one of the things that we've done is we've added 3 new templates inside of Automation Center that helps with this sales process. It helps during those different contact points, whether it's a prospect or sending over quote information. You want to be able to maybe automate some of that, and we've created some templates to help give you an idea of how to maybe automate those workflows in your agency. So let's get into Automation Center and let's take a look. To access the new sales automation templates, Automation Center obviously access it. Go ahead and create your new workflow. And right here we have all of the really great templates that you can use. Tons of different stuff already kind of built, so it takes some of the guessing game out of how to automate. But the first one we want to look at right here is this first one. Initiate conversation with your prospect. And this really ties a lot into, say, for example, Sales Center, right? So when the opportunity drops into that interview bucket, right, this actual workflow can fire off and start a conversation, a dialogue with those prospects. So let's think about if you were in Sales Center. Let's say you're working a prospect list in Sales Center prospecting and you go ahead and push that person over into Sales Center, right? You can then have this automate and send out a nice email to them, letting them know, the customer, that you're going to be reaching out to them, that prospect. So if we go ahead and go into it real fast, the thing I did want to show you guys is it's keying off of a pre-built template that we already have in the system, right? This is one that we've already built. So if we go over into our templates, we can see the initial touch base, right? All this stuff is right here. So if you dig into it and take a look at it, here it already comes pre-filled. We already have some of those personalized tags already put into that email for you. Now you can change it around if you'd like, but this is already built for you. This is already set up and already put together. And the same exact thing happens for the other ones that are going to be in there. So, for example, personalized quotes, right? Presentation. This is great because what it's going to do is it's going to take those quotes and it's actually going to throw the quote results right into the email and send them right off to your insured, right? So whenever the quote is done inside of the Radar, this thing can fire off, right? And same thing for the commercial lines presentations, right? So you can utilize this template that's right here. When you go into it, it's actually going to say, there's good news, we have your quote completed, we'll be reaching out to you with the results. So back in Automation Center, for those two other ones, if we were to go ahead and leave and then go back in, those two other ones that I talk about with personal are going to be right down here. Present your quote results to your personal lines prospects. That's right here. So once the quoting process is done, you can have that automated and send out the results. Or whenever you're done and you've entered in the quote information inside of Submission Center, you can actually have that information, an email go out to let them know that you're going to touch base with them and go over those results with them on the phone. So these are some great ways to start to automate the whole sales process and the conversations around it. Well, there you have it. We have some really, really cool enhancements that we've released here in Q4, and we're excited to bring these to you. We hope that you make some really good use of them. Always, if you have any questions about that, I'd always encourage you to go over to our support site, where they have a lot of really cool training videos that they've created to help better understand some of the stuff that we've talked about today. That's all the time we have, and as always, as we say here in Texas, we'll see y'all next time. Bye, everybody.